Jeff stood by the window in his downtown apartment, the city's evening lights casting patterns onto the unfinished plans scattered across his desk. He had always prided himself on being reliable, the friend you could wake at 3 a.m. for a spontaneous road trip or call for advice on anything from broken pipes to broken hearts. But lately, trust felt like a building he neglected. His mind wandered to Mark, his oldest friend. They hadn't spoken much in weeks. When they did, the conversations felt forced, brief, polite, never like before, when laughter came effortlessly and plans seemed endless. It hit Jeff suddenly, with the weight of a brick. He'd taken Mark for granted, assuming a sturdy foundation would hold forever without maintenance. Ever since Jeff landed his dream job as a master builder, his world shrank to blueprints, schedule boards, and deadlines. He didn't notice the cracks forming in his friendship, the ones he'd so easily spot in a wall or beam. Mark had stopped inviting him out. Their weekly basketball games had become monthly afterthoughts. Birthday calls were exchanged for texts. Jeff convinced himself Mark understood that real friends didn't keep score, but now he saw the ledger and it was empty. On a rainy Sunday, Jeff drafted a different kind of plan. This one wasn't measured in meters or material costs, but in time and intent. He called Mark and, instead of apologizing, asked him out for coffee. They sat together in the corner of their favorite cafe, the same one they'd argued politics and shared secrets in years before. Jeff listened, really listened, as Mark talked about his job and his family, his frustrations and ambitions. It wasn't a grand gesture, just a quiet hour where he put away his phone and gave Mark his full attention. For Jeff, it was a small deposit, a drop in the trust bank. Over the following weeks, Jeff formed the habit of regular check-ins. He remembered to ask about Mark's test results, to congratulate him on small victories, to send memes and inside jokes. He stopped canceling plans last minute. Slowly, the strain between them eased. Mark became more open, more like himself. Conversations stretched longer, laughter returned. One evening, after a pickup game at the park, Mark nudged Jeff as they walked to their cars. "Glad to have you back, man," Mark said, his voice carrying both forgiveness and relief. Jeff smiled, heart lighter, seeing the evidence of his effort not as dramatic transformation, but as quiet repair. Jeff's realization grew as his relationship with Mark mended. He saw parallels everywhere. Neglected friendships and derelict buildings both collapse without care. Trust, he learned, was gained drop by drop, each positive interaction a reinforcement, each forgotten obligation a leak. The little things, the quick texts, thoughtful invitations, shared struggles, were the bricks and mortar. He carried the lesson with him, applying it not just to Mark, but to other relationships, family, colleagues, old friends fading on the periphery. Jeff became intentional, never again assuming any bond was immune to erosion. As the years passed, Jeff's friendships stood resilient in the face of life's chaos. With Mark, the trust they rebuilt proved stronger than ever, able to weather disagreements and distance. It was simple, really. Constructing trust demanded diligence, but with patience and persistence, it endured. And as Jeff surveyed his life, both the buildings he shaped and the relationships he restored, he understood that true legacies are built not in concrete, but in the consistent effort of caring.